Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Capricorn July 2023 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated tarot reading for soul illumination. So hi, everyone, and welcome. This reading is going to be taking a look at the energy for the sign of Capricorn for the month of July. And we're going to first take a look at what you're bringing, Capricorn, to the month. Then we're going to be looking at what Spirit is asking you to grow into and embrace by the end of the month. We're going to be looking at a block or a challenge, advice from Spirit as to how to overcome that, and then a blessing that wants to come in for you as well. So let's jump right in. I hope you're all having a wonderful start to July. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are enjoying the real start to summer. I look at it in that way. Oh, okay. So you have a card here that is unique to this version of the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. This one, really to me, this card specifically, takes the same energy as the Lover's card, which is part of the major arcana, but really grounds it in the romantic partnership sense, the vulnerable sense of when we share ourselves openly with another. So for those of you where this maybe isn't about a romantic partnership, this could be simply where you're really getting in touch with how you open yourself up vulnerably like that. You can kind of see this is almost like the woman swooning in the man's arms, but where perhaps either you're coming in with this romantic energy or you are really contemplating that relationship dynamic of how much you open up to the romance of life. But for many of you, you could actually be really opening up to a romantic partner in your life. Okay, now really what Spirit's asking you really to look at this month and to the whole kind of theme of the month as you move through it is going to be about the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is where you're going to be looking at kind of where you're dissatisfied with life, where there's this feeling of looking at, perhaps with the Three Cups here, this could be looking at community, friendship circles, the people you connect with, and maybe just not feeling like you connect or that you don't have that support. But there's also in this card the sense that, as you can kind of see here, I'll hold it a little closer. I always call it the Monty Python hand, kind of holding out a chalice there for this individual, and he's not looking at it. It's almost like the divine is like, here you go, here's the cup, here's the support, here's the individual that wants to share with you. Or it could be, here is your cup. Remember your needs, your wants, your desires, your dreams, your emotional connection. And yet this individual is more focused on what's external to himself instead of looking at, how can I start to greet life like this beautiful romantic sense of sensibility, the individual who goes out and is just ready and willing to take their cup and share it and clink it with these three. There's something here around that maybe this is a month where you're really looking at who you surround yourself with and how vulnerable are you in your relationships to others, whether it is romantic partnership, or whether this is just other individuals where you are, again, interacting from a place of maybe there has been a level of dissatisfaction or you feel kind of like the outsider, something along that line, and yet it's because you're not openly engaging yourself. And I do see a little bit of a story coming through here, Capricorn, with the Seven of Swords, we have the Five of Cups, and we have the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands is your true underlying energy this month, which is fast movement. It can kind of seem chaotic because you can see there's 8 wands flying through the air. That's a lot going on. But it can also be a lot of communication too. Now, what was interesting is that I just did your opposing sign, your natural seventh, which is Cancer. And Cancer got a lot of the similar energy, but just in a slightly different way, but they did get the Seven of Swords in the same position here. So there is something to be said. Maybe some of you are dealing with Cancer energy. You might actually have that prominent in your own placement. So you might want to watch that reading as well to kind of see the other side of this message. But we do have the Seven of Swords and the Five of Cups. This is really not wanting to face. There's an avoidance here around a disappointment. The Five of Cups is when something happened in your experience that was emotionally disappointing or emotionally upsetting. You can see the individual here. Here's those three cups again. Those three cups have been turned over and spilled. And often this can speak to a time where, yes, maybe there was a community or a friendship or a romantic interest where let's see if I can speak here. It was not supportive, or it did end up where, you broke up with the individual or the community, you didn't feel comfortable in the community or something along those lines. And yet here are those two cups up right behind the individual. But he's so focused on, again, the three cups and not the two cups that are right behind him. So there's a little bit of this kind of avoidance of, I think, wanting to face this point in your life where maybe something didn't really, again, this could be even where a friendship where you were really relying on somebody to come through and they didn't. But yet there's a partnership here that I think is really wanting to come in at this time, and you may be pulling back from that because of the pain of the past or because something wasn't working out previously. And I think what this is saying here is that if you can face this, things are going to pick up. But there is support here. There are these two cups. And so I think there's a little bit now of, having to realize, I'm going to pull out some additional cards to get the rest of the reading to come out. But I do just intuitively feel like perhaps you might be looking in the wrong place for support. Like there is a person or there are people in your life who want to come in and give you this support, and yet you're maybe you're too wrapped up in looking at who is not giving you that support. And this month is really going to show you, it's going to get you closer to the feeling of intimacy with yourself. The feeling, I just intuitively feeling this, the feeling of loving yourself, of getting back in touch. If you can kind of look around you and look, where is this hand coming in? Where is this could actually be the other individual in your life who's like, remember me? I'm over here. I would like to connect with you. And it's almost like this individual is like, looking at, again, this would be like this person looking at, a dating situation that didn't work out. And yet there's somebody wanting to come in to say, but I want to date you. I want to help you. I want to love you. Or someone who's looking at a friendship, a community, something like that, where it's like, these people don't support me. And yet there's that one friend off to the side who's like, but I want to support you. I want to be here for you. And it's going to take maybe a level of vulnerability for you to see that and for you to connect with that individual, or this opportunity to connect more vulnerably with yourself. It may be difficult. Sometimes when we go to that place where we truly have to be vulnerable, it can be scary. It can be okay, so we have the Princess of Pentacles, which is interesting because Cancer got this card in the exact same place. So Princess of Pentacles, this is the Page of Pentacles in this deck, and this is your main point of challenge. It's going out there with kind of an optimistic, it's learning through, whoa, we got a lot going on here. and underneath all of that is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, let's go ahead here and kind of clean up this mess. Make sure we don't have... Okay, so Princess of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, this is learning through direct experience. This is going out there and just taking one step with something in the physical. This would be like saying, okay, I do want to connect more intimately, or maybe I am getting closer to the individual in my life, but I need to take that step. I need to do something physically to initiate a reconnection with this person, or with me getting back in touch with myself so that I can share myself vulnerably with someone else. And with the Wheel of Fortune, this is saying the time is now. The time is now to do this, to take this step, to initiate something that you really want to initiate. Now, I was using the example in the Cancer reading of, let's say this is, okay, you've been saving and saving and saving and you want to buy a house. Well, taking the Page of Pentacles would be the person who's like, okay, fine. Okay, we have enough saved. All right, we're going to take the risk. The time is now to go out and start looking for a house. And the Page of Pentacles would be the individual who's like, okay, we're going to call a realtor today, and we're going to start that'll be the first step towards, let's see what's out there. Let's get the listings from this individual. It's just putting yourself out there. Starting to get the wheel engaged. That's what I'm feeling with you guys here. The wheel is engaged, but engaged from a place that is very authentic to you, taking action because it means something to your vulnerable self, because it's reconnecting you to your cup. The cup, again, of your needs, of your wants and dreams and desires. And it's truly the connection to spirit through your emotional self. But then we have the Eight of Swords, and this is the energy that spirit is asking you really to dive into, to take a look at this week or this month, because this is where kind of everything cruxes. This is actually the advice from spirit. And the Eight of Swords is a card where we feel mentally stuck. We can't see a way out. We can't see a way forward. And you can see these two individuals. They look like they're just kind of aimlessly meandering through these swords, and yet they can simply just walk away from them if they want. So there's a little bit of something here that maybe you guys have been trying to figure out how to do something for a while, and yet this is where it's time to get curious physically, where it's just time to do something, to get the wheel turning, because you might have overthought something. You might have, this is where you kind of can't see the forest through the trees. You think you've thought of all the ways to do something, all the ways to achieve something, and yet you're missing something. And I think what you're missing is the intimate connection, is the emotional connection. There's also a feeling here as well of really diving into how you speak to yourself. This is the kind of, for me, the mental programming card of where we can kind of trap ourselves because we are telling ourselves we can't do it. Or we're telling ourselves that we won't go down that path. I won't go to the left to leave this because the last time I did, I got hurt. So I'm just going to, stay here. And yet staying here is keeping you stuck. So there's something around really taking a look at how you speak to yourself, how you kind of set up this mental programming to tell yourself that you can only do this or only do that. And so you're limiting yourself from seeing other options. But also where sometimes when we get to that place where we've kind of thought ourselves into a circle, it's time to just physically take one action step. And that's kind of what shakes off that internal rust of where we just get stuck and the gears are like, it's like time to move, Capricorn. I really do feel like for you guys, probably the title I'm going to have here for you is getting the wheel moving again, especially with the Eight of Wands coming in, because it's time to go. It's time to go, or it's time to move. In a way that's going to really re-engage you with life again. Again, don't deny the cup that's being offered, whether it is from somebody in your experience that you kind of have your back turned to, or whether it's whether it's a kind of a circumstance. This could even be a circumstance that's coming in that's saying, if you take a look and you embrace the circumstance, you could have the opportunity to genuinely reconnect to that true emotional connection to your life again that maybe you've been missing for some time. Now, on the other side of this, we have the Magician. So this is the energy, that's the Gemini energy, which is great because we are still, for part of this month, in the Gemini energy. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. We'll have already moved into Cancer energy at this point, but it is that energy of, again, realizing you're the magician in your own life. You hold the magical key to working with all the elements to create for yourself what you would like. There also is this feeling with that card too, of really, when we think of Gemini as an air sign, Gemini has this beautiful ability it's the mutable air sign. So it really adapts to change well. It allows that kind of connection to, just a higher realm of thought, and really being able to bring it down, analyze it quickly, and be able to disseminate it or communicate from that place. And this card for me, I always kind of look at this infinity symbol. It looks like the individual is getting that kind of universal knowledge that has been since the beginning of time, and is able to kind of bring that down through the third eye, and is able to see something clearly now. So there's something about that too for you, Capricorn, of really being able to have that wisdom, and really know how to apply it, because that's what the magician does. He applies the magic into his life. And I think for many of you, you haven't really maybe tapped in or understood how you can best do that. In fact, for some of you, you might have been hiding this from a partner in your life. Let's see. And there's the Two of Cups. Yeah. It's all about connection. It's all that this, I do feel, is the main point of this whole reading, is taking this vulnerability of wanting to feel like that in the arms of someone you love. Whether, again, this is just the support of a romantic partner, or it could be, again, a friendship or someone where you just want to feel that you can be that vulnerable. And it's the blessing is that there is someone here that you can share your cup with. There is someone in your experience that you are equally matched to, and they are trying to come in. They want to come in and give you the support and love so that it can help ease the dissatisfaction or the disappointment from their past pain or something you've been moving through now. But you have to realize your own magic first. That's kind of the key to a healthy relationship, is you have to love yourself first. You have to understand your own power to initiate something in your life. You have to understand that you have to speak to yourself in a way that you would like someone else to speak to you, right? So it's having that clarity of, maybe I need to stop being so hard on myself. Maybe I need to stop judging myself so harshly. And then when you start to speak to yourself in a loving way, then you bring in the person who is the gift from the divine here, or the circumstance that is the gift from the divine. But it's about connecting to that openly, authentically, and vulnerably. Now, at the bottom of this deck, we have the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is where we are juggling the day-to-day, where we are sitting there and kind of, for me, because of the Wheel of Fortune, this could be where you're spinning your wheels, where you're just doing. You're doing and doing and doing, and yet there needs to be a prioritization of taking a step towards, really prioritizing one of those pentacles and taking a more curious approach to, okay, if I focus in this one area. So again, bringing it back to buying a house, this would be something along the lines of, okay, I'm juggling my day to day. I'm not happy. Because if you're going to be buying a house, it shows that there's something that's dissatisfactory about your current place where you're living. So there's something here around really saying, okay, well, I could continue to vacuum my house and clean the house where I'm currently living. I could try to repaint a wall. But the reality of it is, instead of juggling that, why don't I prioritize spending my time? Because again, it's a choice, right? He's juggling the Two Pentacles, but he can choose to put one down and dedicate more time and energy towards something else. And this is saying the time is now. And that could be simply where it's like, okay, instead of trying to, put lipstick on a pig, so to speak, with my current house, I'm going to call the real estate agent. I'm going to go ahead and start, doing my own research for looking for homes. I'm going to start to talk to maybe a financial advisor to see if I can apply for a loan. It's one of those things where it's like, well, if you had the choice between the two, instead of spending all Saturday afternoon painting a wall, you could be spending all Saturday afternoon taking a look at different open houses in the area. So there's something along those lines. And that's obviously just an example, but there's something here where, again, I think there's been there's been an avoidance here for some time around not feeling supported, not feeling emotionally connected to life, not feeling that there's this romantic partner who's going to go through life with you. And this is where life is kind of asking you, saying there is a choice to be made now. You can have this for yourself, but you have to initiate it. And I'm sure for many of you guys, you're like, I'm tired of initiating it. I'm tired of doing everything. Because I have a lot of Capricorns in my life. And I know you guys are busy. You do so much. You achieve your goals. You take care of your families. You know, you harness the energy of the divine father. So you have that matriarchal energy just in you by having Capricorn as part of your birth chart placements. So you do take on a lot of responsibility in your life. And I understand that. And this might be where you finally get the chance to kind of maybe make yourself vulnerable to another person or for another person. But this is asking you to, I think, initiate something that is going to be so fulfilling for you. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands and the High Priestess. I love that. Yeah, there's something you're passionate about. There's something here with the High Priestess coming in. There's something about something that you know, something that you've like deep within, you know, you know what you want to initiate the change for. Now, the Page of Wands is kind of like the playful child. This is the individual who's just goes out there and has rediscovered something they love or has discovered something they love, and they just want to go out and play with it. Like, this could be truly the child at play. And for some of you, that there is a decision here to be made, maybe around doing something for a child, or this could be where you've picked up a new hobby, a new passion, and you're like, I just want to see where I can take this. I just want to see what I can do with this. And it's saying, just take one step. There's a sense here coming through. It's kind of like the saying of, if you take one step towards the gods or the divine, the gods take, 100 towards you. There's something about that. It's like you have to take that first step, because when you take that first step, you initiate. That is the spark of creation, right? That's the magician. That's what gets everything moving. Okay, and the Wheel of Fortune, yes, with the Two of Wands. Making a decision to go in a new direction. This is a deciding month for you, Capricorn. You've got a lot of twos, Two of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Two of Wands. These are all asking you to make a decision. Make a decision in love, in emotional connection. Make a decision in where you choose to put your time and energy and physical resources. Making a decision as to where you choose to take action. So this is a pivotal month, Capricorn. Let's see if anything else wants to come out for that. Yeah, I love it. So you have the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands. There's definitely the feeling of wanting to go in a new direction. And once you make that decision, something is going to come in for you. The Three of Wands is kind of waiting for your ships to come in. But it implies that you took action. And so, expectations have to be set around where we choose to take action. We can't just expect ourselves to win the lottery if we don't choose to take an action step towards buying that lotto ticket. So there's something here around this of, once you make that decision, that's when the expectation will come in for you. But it can't be one before the other. You can't put the cart before the horse, so to speak. You can't expect something to come in without actually having made the decision and started to take that action. And that's why that Wheel of Fortune is waiting. It's like it's just waiting for you to spin it. But you have to choose to spin it, right? It's kind of like Wheel of Fortune. My family, we watch Wheel of Fortune religiously at 7:00 every night while we're eating dinner. And again, that would be a very boring show if no one decided to reach down and spin that wheel. So kind of keep that in mind. All right, so for the Eight of Swords, we have the King of Coins, which is the King of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Cups. Now, the King of Coins is the energy of Taurus. It's also the energy of someone who really understands how to manage their physical experience. This is the person who knows how to manage their money. This is the individual who knows what their time and energy is worth. So they put their time and energy, they're like the master prioritizers. And the Page of Cups is the inner child. So this might be kind of the dilemma for some of you. If this was a relationship, this might be where there might be some frustration between maybe you. Like this could be where maybe you're having kind of a marital issue with someone else in your life and it's affecting a child, and that maybe you kind of can't see your way out of that. And yet this, more than anything though, for a general reading, would really be looking at where are you too focused on what you're getting out of something physically, versus honoring your inner child. The inner child here, I know it's kind of hard to see in this light, but it's a beautiful illustration of a child who looks like they've found a box, they've opened it, and they've found their cup. And they're like looking at it with this reverence of like, oh my gosh, this is mine. This is my emotional connection to life. This is my innocence. This is what I love. And so where maybe are you getting a little too stuck on the mental plane because you're choosing to prioritize the physical versus honoring that voice within that says, but I want to go this way because I love this, because I want to do this, because it's calling to me, because the divine is saying, look over here and choose this. So really, keep that in mind here when you're analyzing your thoughts and what you constantly kind of go, what's keeping you in this place of the loop. What's the mental loop? Okay, for the Magician, we have the Knight of Swords and the King of Wands. There's something here at the Knight of Swords and the King of Wands that really speaks to sharing a truth around really wanting to go for your passion. The King of Wands is a fiery individual. So is the individual who leads from a place of what they're passionate about. They choose their passion and they go for it. This could be a Leo in your life. That's a very courageous energy as well. The Knight of Swords is the individual who is, this could be fast communication. This is the individual who is communicating their truth. This could be someone who is communicating a decision, but I get the feeling here that the magic really is about expressing, wanting to take the lead in some aspect of your experience from what you're passionate about. Or this could be like telling someone, in your life, if this could be like, let's say you want to start your own business or something along those lines. This would be like saying, I want to take the first steps towards becoming the CEO of my own company, because that's where my magic lies. That's the vision I'm having. That's what's going to unlock my own inner child. But yet, if you don't take the first step and make the decision, if you don't honor what you already know you've decided with the High Priestess on some level of what lights your fire, and if you don't actually go out and start to speak from that place, and you don't start to openly, vulnerably communicate this with others in your life, then nothing's going to happen, right? But there is something here about speaking to your passion, speaking to how you want to lead from what you are passionate about now, and diving into that. This could even be where, again, if for those of you who are looking to maybe get into a new romantic partnership, maybe where this is learning how to communicate. Again, kind of getting the focus off so much of what you can get out of something or what it will cost you in the physical, and getting more into the place of, because I love it, because it lights my fire, because I'm passionate, and starting to communicate from an empowered place about that. And that's really what will naturally draw in someone to you who says, yes, I see that, I love it, I support that. Let's take that first step. Okay, let's see about, here about the Two of Cups. What does Capricorn need to know about the Two of Cups? We have the Four of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot of introspection going on. You may need to take kind of a time out to really take a look at the Four of Swords really speaks to looking at the Three of Swords in your life, which is the heartache and wounds of the past, and really being able to then find the fourth sword, which is your hidden truth that has been hiding behind all of that pain, and being able to come out with more clarity as to who you are. And maybe where you haven't been sharing so much of your truth, you haven't been communicating from that place. And there's the Four of Cups again. So yeah, there's a feeling here of really looking at where you felt disconnected from support, looking at where you felt like, again, friendships, community, love, where something just hurt you deeply here. But then here you still feel like an outsider. You still feel like, the people who have come in after the friends that didn't work out, or the people that, whatever it is. There's something here around feeling like an outsider and feeling like you are not connecting. And yet with the Two of Cups, it's saying there is a connection, there is a partnership, but you have to be the one to connect to your emotions, to share from that place. Because kind of like the individual sitting here, if he's sitting apart from those people and he's not willing to bring his cup to the party, so to speak, then how can he expect to feel like he belongs, to feel like he has that connection? It's that we have to connect first to our own emotional sense of what we love, why we love it, getting back to that inner child, and then connecting that with another, bringing it forward, making the decision to take action in a new way that honors the inner child, or that honors the child in your life, depending on how this is playing out for you, Capricorn. Now we do have, I love it, 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. 10 of Cups is such a beautiful card in the tarot in general. It speaks to the happy family card. It speaks to an overwhelming abundance of emotional joy and satisfaction in your life. I love the depiction on this specific card in this deck where it looks like it's a wedding cake with the wedding topper, and the people are dancing joyously on top. So there's something here around choosing that. It's almost like leaning into the feeling of what that is for you, the happy family, the emotional fulfillment, but realizing that the 10 of Cups starts with your one cup. And then you get to start to share that cup with another person and another person and another. And then that is how we eventually get the 10 of Cups. It's through community. It's through connection. But everybody's 10 of Cups is unique, right? It's like everybody's sense of heaven is unique to them. And there's something about understanding that your connection to your entire life is your sense of what heaven is for you. But you've been blocking it. You've been blocking your own inner child from looking at your cup with awe and wonder because there's been a little too much focus on the physical. I get that feeling here for you guys. And that's hard, Capricorn. I know you're the cardinal earth sign. You are all about the physical. But sometimes we're asked in the moment to realize that there's another aspect of your experience that's waiting to be called in. And we all deserve, and I know, Capricorn, you've earned the happy family card. So it's time to open up to another vulnerably in your life, and make a decision that might be hard, but it is one that is freeing. It is one that honors your inner child. It is one that honors what you're passionate about. It's one that will take you closer to a sense of play in life, to a sense of ease, wonder, and just emotional connection. And it's like on the table here, you can start to prioritize your 10 of Cups by making a choice. Okay. And that choice is going to be different for all of you. It could be a choice to rekindle a romance with someone in your life. It could be the choice to rekindle, for instance, this could be where maybe if you're in a long-term relationship where maybe that relationship went through kind of a rocky point, but now you get the chance to say, you know what? I realize we've gone through so much. Let's reconnect in this relationship. Let's choose happiness. Let's move out of this house that still brings up these old feelings, and let's go someplace else, and let's start over again. This could be, in work where you're doing the same thing and you're like, I started a business and it didn't work out, but I really want to connect again with that part of my passionate self, and I want to connect that with others, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna make a choice to try again. There's something about that. You're either trying it again in a relationship, you're trying again in a work environment. And for some of you, it might be the opposite. It could be where, I'm just trying to kind of go through all the different scenarios. It could be where you are choosing to leave someone or leave a way of being because it has not honored your inner child or your passion. And now you're rediscovering that and you realize, I need to go out and connect. I need to find myself first to be able then to find someone who will connect with me on that equal partnership, on that equal level. But either way, this is a month where you get to choose freedom and you get to get the wheel moving towards your 10 of Cups. You get to prioritize your 10 of Cups. So I love this. We have for Energy Oracle deck here, we have Healer of the Ages number 51. This always kind of looks like, the card that has Jesus on it. But religion aside, there's a feeling here of healing. 51 reduces to the number 6. The number 6 really harnesses the energy of love. For me, it's also personally, my personal relationship with this number is what we actually can build in the physical when we do so from a place of love, not from a place of ulterior motivations like I want to make a bunch of money, but instead we say, I want to do this because I love it, or I love this person and I love myself and I love that I love my entire life experience. And it's amazing what can be manifested in the physical when we choose that energy, or we choose the love of someone else, when we choose to vulnerably open up to that. And I do get the feeling that this could be a healing month between you and another in a relationship, in a key relationship, or this is healing between you and your relationship to the self, to remembering that you can love your inner child, the innocence and the playfulness and your passions that might have been lost at some point in your past experience. Okay, I'm going to pull just a couple clarifiers here. We'll just see if anything else wants to come out. Oh, I see the Death card at the bottom of the deck. That came out prominent in Cancer's reading. But let's see here. What does Healer of the Ages? Can I clarify that for Capricorn? It's a little too many there. Let's see if we can get just a couple to come out. Page of Swords. Yes, that's an openness, a curiosity. It's also knowing, it's that understanding that we will never know everything. So why not be open and curious? And there's something here around that of really, you have 3 out of the 4 pages that came out. You have the Page of Wands, Page of Cups, Page of Swords. This is a month to really get to that place of being curious again. And really, I think embracing your own inner childlike self, where you're just kind of, again, rediscovering the love of life, but from that innocent place that maybe you've been disconnected from for a while. But there is something here on keeping an open mind. That's the Page of Swords. Keeping an open mind. This might be where maybe you're being pushed to reconnect with another individual in your life, to communicate again about wanting to take action in some respect. And you might have been afraid to do that for a long time. And this might be that month where you just say, you know what, I'm going to share it with them. Or I'm going to share that I want to, reconnect. Or I'm going to share that I want to start this business. And that's what finally gets things moving. But share it from a place of true connection to the self, true connection to your heart. And here you are, Capricorn, Queen of Pentacles. That is your energy in the tarot. So yeah, it's about really looking at what you want to nurture in your life, what you want to grow. And there is something here around being very open and curious, and understanding that, you don't know everything. So keep that open mind. But it's also getting into your own energy. This might be kind of healing around maybe for some of you, this could be healing around kind of a maternal energy, healing around what you want to grow with someone else. This could even be where some of you maybe there's a pregnancy, something along those lines too. I don't know. Sometimes I get the feeling with this card, and when it comes out, that could be something that's coming through. Okay. But more than anything, I think it's just, can you keep an open mind, Cancer? Okay, Cancer. I called you Cancer. Sorry, Capricorn. All right. Let's see here. What else does Capricorn need to know for the month of July? Okay, so it says surrender to the wisdom of your body. It says listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. And that's really what this entire reading is really speaking to, with all the pages coming in. It's like, get to that place, when we think about children, they are generally there's a sense that they are just very in the physical experience, right? They're going to just communicate. Like if something hurts, they're going to come over and be like, my hand hurts, or I don't feel good, or I feel sad. Like there's something here on getting back to that place of just really, when you feel something, honoring it. And especially our body will tell us when we're like, you can tell when you're thinking about something and suddenly you realize you're clenching your jaw or squeezing your shoulders, or something along those lines, that when you're thinking about what excites you, when you're thinking about what you love, like really look at who is there to kind of support that for yourself, but using the innocent part of yourself. Like, don't push that away. If you feel stress, if you feel an emotion that comes up, this is saying to honor that, to look at it, to look at what it's asking you, what is it highlighting for you, and the decision you need to make towards taking an action step this month to honoring your 10 of Cups. I'm going to go ahead. I'll pull just a couple additional clarifiers for that, and then we'll pull your final card, Capricorn. Let's see. Surrender to the wisdom of your body. 6 of Swords. Yes, that's a card of moving on. It's a card of transcendence. But it's really a card of having, moving on in a mental space, of having that peace of mind that comes when we choose our spark. The Ace of Wands is our passion. It is the gift from the divine of our eternal flame. It is our unique passion. This can also speak to a new idea, a new inspiration. It can also speak to conception, and pregnancy. Now, there may be something around that for some of you coming through here, but I get the feeling more with the 6 of Swords and the Ace of Wands. It's about really moving on from anything that doesn't kind of honor your inner flame, that doesn't honor that spark within you. You can see it's almost like this individual is looking at this woman who is just so in tune with herself, and it's like, okay, it's almost like the feeling of, I know now what I'm in the boat going towards. I can feel it. I have my eyes closed, and I can just see by the light of the spark within my soul. It's really beautiful. Okay, I'm going to pull a final card here, so we'll get a chance to see. I'll read the little excerpt that comes in the book with the deck, so you get a little extra message that doesn't come directly from me. does Capricorn need to know? Ooh, that's too many. Let's see if we can get just one or two, please. Okay, you have two. You have spiritual decree, number 41, and you have hold your center, number 34. I like this, Capricorn, because the number 41 breaks down to the number 5. It's the number of change, but it's also the number of, I really look at the number 5 can be growth instead of just change. And the number 34 breaks down to the number 7, which is beautiful. That is our direct connection to spirit, our spiritual self. It's also the confidence in ourself and how we choose to take action when we know that we are co-creating with spirit. So 41, and that is honoring yourself, honoring what you feel, honoring what you love. That is how we co-create with spirit. So it says spiritual decree. You have been wondering what will happen next in your life, not realizing how much power you have to decide that for yourself. What do you wish to have happen next? Are you willing to use your divine birthrights of free will, voice, and empowerment to set the cosmic wheels in motion? Gosh, this couldn't be more perfect. Getting that wheel turning. You got to reach down like Wheel of Fortune and turn that wheel yourself. It says, if your answer is yes, then it is time to speak your truth to the universe. Decree it, and you shall be it. And that is exactly what these two cards coming in over the Magician are. The Knight of Swords is literally decreeing how you want to lead from what you're passionate about, how you want to move towards that inner flame, and what lights your fire. I love this. It says, you have been praying for help, asking for a map, and wanting directions. You are wise in the ways of the receptive, responsive approach to life. It is spiritually mature to trust the greater guiding power of the divine to direct your course. And yet the wishes in your heart are part of how that happens. Divine destiny is not something that just happens to you, but it is something that you co-create as a living spiritual being with free will and divine love beating in your heart. It says you are being honored for your ability to ask for guidance and wait for signs. You are also being asked to set intention and develop faith in yourself, to trust in what your heart yearns for, what you love so much that you are willing to go through the discomfort of growth to see it come to life. And that is the Ace of Wands. That is the new growth. You can look at it looks like a new vine stalk, right? And so there's something here that in your body you will feel that it's time to move on from, to honor the growth of this new inspiration. And for some of you, it could be the conception of a child to move towards or move in a way that's going to honor the growth of that. I love it. Okay, so hold your center. Let's see what comes up for that. Okay, so it says, have you been rushing out to meet others, trying to bend or accommodate their needs at the expense of your own well-being and inner peace? Now you are to strengthen your own energy, your own boundaries, to find your ground, firmly place your feet there, and do not move. Feel your feet anchoring you like a beautiful tree. Let yourself experience quiet certainty as you hold your center with commitment, courage, and consciousness. It says you are learning to trust in your own instincts, to take your own journey without comparison to the life path of another. There is no need to become disheartened or distracted by comparisons or judgments. The earth needs your light, which can only come from you. You will offer so much less if you try to make it match your beauty to what you perceive to be the beauty of another. I love this. I love that this comes through here for it to hold your center, because there is something here around understanding that the choice to be made to take action is yours, Capricorn, on behalf of you, your inner child, your sense of play, your 10 of Cups, and how can you connect to that so you can connect authentically to others from that place? How can you reconnect to your enjoyment and emotional connection to your life? But there's also the feeling here too of, again, connecting to what you want to grow. The Six of Swords does speak to movement, speaks to overcoming limitations, because we are empowered by a new growth. This is when like somebody who becomes a new parent suddenly realizes they can do, they literally can become super parent, right? They're like, you know what? I will work the 3 jobs because I want to watch this child grow I want to watch this little vine grow into the great tree. Or this is someone who all of a sudden, for the love of the dream of the new inspiration within, is willing to move on from those limitations around how much, abundance they can bring in for themselves when they choose to really prioritize their passion. But there is something here around transcending your own limitations for the pursuit of the dream, for the love of something in your life that you want to see grow. And that part of that love is your emotional connection and that connection to your own internal passion. This is a beautiful month to literally, again, spin that wheel. It's not about wishing and waiting and wanting and hoping someone else will bring it to you. It's saying you get to make that choice, Capricorn, and this is that month where you can do it. All right, I hope you all have a wonderfully healing, empowering, and a month filled with reconnection to yourself and love of yourself and what you're capable of and what the magic that you bring to any situation. If you would like to book your own personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website to view a list of the services I offer. Otherwise, I also do post a weekly collective message as well as a mini reading for each sign each week based on that collective reading. So if you'd like to view those, you can subscribe to my channel and you'll be able to see right away when those come out. Otherwise, if I don't see you until next month's illumination reading, have a wonderful month ahead, Capricorn.